Hi guys, today we are going to see stored procedure in SQL. So let's begin. Stored procedure are SQL programs that are stored inside a database which you can execute whenever needed. Stored procedures are like functions where you write a particular code and you can call it by name again and again whenever required. So similarly, instead of writing the same SQL query again and again, you just write it once, store that query in the database and call it anytime whenever needed. This is the basic syntax of stored procedure. Here we are changing the delimiter. Our default delimiter is semicolon. We are changing it to this. Okay, why we are doing that? Because the SQL query is executed line by line. So whenever we write this part, here we encounter a semicolon. So the above query will be executed and we will get an error. That's why we are changing the delimiter to this. And after writing the stored procedure, we will set the delimiter to default, which is semicolon. So here we are changing the delimiter. From here we are creating the stored procedure, create procedure. This is the name of the stored procedure that we are creating. Begin. This is the SQL query that will run whenever we call this function. This marks the end of the SQL query and here we are setting the delimiter to the default one, semicolon. So this stored procedure gets stored in the database and whenever we make a call, get user count, this query will be executed. Select count star from users and we will get the output. Like this is the student table. If we call this query for this table, it will return the output 4. In this query, we are counting the number of rows. So let's execute this query in the command prompt. So this is a students table. Now I will write the stored procedure. So here I have created my stored procedure. Now I will make a call to this stored procedure. So when I make a call to this stored procedure, we will get an output 4. This is the same output that we will get from this query. Select count star from students, which is the number of rows of the table students. Okay, so let's move forward. Now let's see how we can use the stored procedure with parameters. We can enhance the functionality of procedures when we pass parameters into them. There are three types of parameters. First one is in. It means passing the value into the procedure. Like this is the students table. Now we want to print the rows of students that are belonging to a particular department, right? Like CS or IT or electrical. So how we can do that? So here is the procedure that I wrote. In this we are passing department name as a parameter and the query will check select star from student where department is equal to department name. So we will get the rows of students which are matching the parameter department name that we passed. Like here, if we passed a CS, so we will get two rows. First one is Aman and second one is Neha. Similarly, if we pass here IT, we will get one row which is of Ravi. So here, how we called this procedure. In this, when we call the name of the procedure, we just have to add the parameter also. Like CS is the department name that I am passing here. So when this procedure will get called, it will send CS as department name and this query will run select star from student where department in the place of department CS will be used here. Okay, so let's execute this query in command prompt. So here's the student table. Now I will write the query. So I have written the stored procedure, create procedure, get students by department. I have used in variable here to pass a variable, department name, which is of a varchar type, begin. This is my SQL query. Select star from students where department equal to department name that I have passed as a parameter. Now I will make a call to this procedure. So after making a call to this procedure, we are getting two rows, Aman and Neha of department CS. If we make a same call for department IT, here we got only one row which is Ravi and his department is ID. Okay, so let's move forward. Now the second type of parameter that we use is out. In this, we return a value from the procedure back to the caller. The syntax is similar. In place of in, we use out. This variable will be returned back to the caller. It is of type int. Like if we want to calculate the sum of marks of all the students, we can use this type of procedure. So the syntax is similar. Create procedure get student, get student sum out. This is the variable that we will return from the procedure. It is of type int. Begin select sum marks into the sum of marks will be stored in this variable from students. And when we make a call to this procedure, we are passing total as a variable. Our output will be stored in total. Okay. So total will contain the sum of all marks 85, 90, 95 and 82. Okay. So let's run this query in our command prompt. So this is the student table. Now I will write a stored procedure for out parameter. Now I've written the stored procedure to get sum of all marks of the students and store that value into total students. So now let's make a call to this procedure. Now if I print the value of total, here we are getting 352, which is the sum of all the marks of the students. Okay, so let's move forward. Now this is the third type of parameter that we can pass in stored procedure. It's the inout parameter. It takes a value, modifies it, and returns the modified value. This is the procedure that I have written. Now what it is doing, it is taking a value of new marks, incrementing the value of marks by 10 and returning the new value of marks. Okay, when I make a call to this procedure, I have set marks as 80 and I have passed this variable to the increase marks procedure that I have created here. And now I am printing the new value of marks. So we will get 90 from here. This procedure will increase the value of marks from 80 to 90. So let's execute this into our command prompt. So let's write the query for inout parameter. So here I am passing new marks as the inout parameter and increasing the value of new marks by 10. So first let's initialize the variable that we are going to pass into this procedure, increase marks. I have initialized the variable marks with 80. Now let's call the procedure and pass the value of marks. Now let's print the updated value of marks. So we are getting 90 here. After calling the procedure, the previous value of marks, which is 80, was updated by 10 and we are receiving 90 as the new marks value. So let's move forward. So let's see how to delete a procedure. So why do basically we delete a procedure if it's no longer needed or it has error or we are updating the business logic? So this is the syntax. with which we can delete a stored procedure, drop procedure name. So what does this query do? It will remove the procedure from the database memory. All the storage logic will be deleted. It does not affect any tables or data. It only removes the procedure object. Okay, so let's execute this query in our command prompt. So increase marks is the procedure name that we created for our inout parameter. So let's delete this. So I have written the query drop procedure increase marks. If I call this increase mark procedure again, now we are getting a error that increased marks does not exist. So it's deleted from the database memory. So that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day.